Welcome to your favorite channel, where you'll learn everything you need to know to improve your health and lifestyle. Let's get started.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the really surprising science of what actually helps us live longer, healthier lives. And spoiler alert, the answer might not be in your kitchen or at the gym, but in your connections with other people. Okay, let's just jump right into this by challenging a huge assumption. We spend a fortune, right, on organic food, gym memberships, fancy supplements, all to tack on a few more years. But what if the research is telling us that the most powerful tool for a long life is something that doesn't cost a dime? So here's our game plan. We're gonna start with a bizarre medical mystery. Then we'll look at the hard numbers. We'll hear from an incredible 85-year study, visit the places where people live the longest, and get into the actual biology of how this all works. And finally, we'll redefine what a healthy habit really is. All right, let's kick things off with a real-world head-scratcher from the 1950s that completely stumped scientists and made them question everything they thought they knew about heart disease. So get this. Researchers go into this small town, Roseto, and they find a population that, on paper, should have been incredibly sick. They were eating high-fat foods, a lot of people smoked, and obesity wasn't uncommon. Everything about their lifestyle basically screamed heart attack waiting to happen. Except it wasn't. And this is where it gets really fascinating. For about a decade, the men in Roseto had stunningly low rates of heart attacks, way lower than their neighbors and the rest of the country. And the only thing researchers could point to was this incredible social connection. Nobody was isolated, 3 generations often lived under one roof. But then, as the town started to change, to become more, Americanized, people moved out on their own, the social ties got weaker, and poof, their special health advantage completely disappeared. Their heart disease rates shot right up to the national average. So the big takeaway here was undeniable. It wasn't about the food, it was about the community. Their deep social bonds were acting like a shield, protecting their hearts in a way that their diet and habits shouldn't have allowed. This was the first huge clue that community itself is a powerful form of medicine. Okay, so Roseto was this incredible case study, but you might be thinking, was it just a one-off? Not even close. Modern science has taken this idea and proven its power on a massive scale. We're all so laser-focused on things like our cholesterol numbers, our BMI, all these physical metrics. But a massive, groundbreaking analysis that looked at data from hundreds of thousands of people, it found a far more dangerous threat hiding in plain sight. And this quote right here just says it all. This isn't some small, minor effect we're talking about. The health risk of being lonely or socially isolated is on par with smoking nearly a pack of cigarettes a day, and it's actually more dangerous for your long-term survival than obesity. Just let that sink in. Let's just look at these numbers for a second, because they are staggering. When you look at the odds of survival over time, having strong social networks like friends, family, community groups is linked to a 91% increased chance of living longer. That is a massive effect, way bigger than the benefit you get from just avoiding obesity or even from being physically active. The data is just crystal clear. Our relationships are, quite literally, a matter of life and death. Okay, so the big picture data is pretty convincing, right? But what does this look like in individual lives, followed over a lifetime? Well, an unbelievable study at Harvard did just that, tracking hundreds of people for nearly a century to find out. And, they collected everything. From brain scans and blood work to in-depth interviews about their biggest worries and their greatest joys. They followed these men from the time they were teenagers all the way into their 90s, through careers, marriages, triumphs, and failures. So after all that, after 85 years of research, what was the big secret to a long and healthy life? It wasn't money, it wasn't fame, it wasn't even about low cholesterol. The single most powerful predictor was simple: the quality of their relationships. That's it, period. Think about that for a second. How happy someone was in their relationships at age 50 could predict how healthy they'd be 30 years later, at age 80, better than a key medical number like their cholesterol. It turns out warm, secure relationships don't just protect our feelings, they protect our brains from decline, and they protect our bodies from breaking down. Okay, so we've seen this in studies, but where can we see it in action, right now, in the real world? Well, we can look to the blue zones. These are these incredible pockets around the globe where people regularly live to be over 100, and they're active and healthy at 10 times the rate we do. So researchers went in and identified 9 common lifestyle habits these places share. And what's so telling is when you look at this list, yeah, diet is on there, they eat a lot of plants, but look at what I've highlighted. 4 of the 9 pillars are all about your social and mental world, having a sense of purpose, belonging to a community, putting family first, and having the right social circle. And this gets to a really core idea that's woven through all these communities. It's this strong sense of purpose. In Okinawa, they call it ikigai. In Costa Rica, it's the plan de vida. But it all boils down to the same powerful idea: having a reason to wake up in the morning. And this isn't just some fluffy, feel-good concept. They've actually put a number on it. Having a strong sense of purpose is linked to as much as 7 extra years of life expectancy. 7 years! It also dramatically lowers your risk for things like Alzheimer's and heart problems. So this is the big question, right? How in the world does having a good chat with a friend or knowing your purpose actually change what's happening inside your body at a biological level? Well, let's get into the science because it's pretty amazing. Well, it's basically this incredible 3-part process. First, positive social connections act as a stress buffer. They lower the levels of cortisol, that nasty stress hormone that just wreaks havoc on your body over time. Second, they literally reduce inflammation. It turns out that loneliness can flip switches on your genes that promote inflammation, and connection can flip them back off. And third, feeling socially safe and connected strengthens your vagus nerve, which is like the brake pedal for your body's fight or flight system. It helps calm your heart rate, your breathing, and everything else. Okay, so let's tie all of this together. We've gone from a tiny town in Pennsylvania to a massive Harvard study to the longest-lived people on Earth. What is the one crucial lesson we need to take away from all this? The message here couldn't be clearer. We have to stop thinking of community and purpose as soft skills or nice-to-haves. They're not. They are hardwired, biological needs. You can have the perfect diet in the world, but it simply cannot make up for a life of isolation and meaninglessness. And this slide really just nails the shift in thinking we need to have. The old model puts things like diet and exercise at the very center, but the new evidence-based model shows us that a solid foundation of social connection and a clear sense of purpose, that's what comes first. It's that foundation that makes all the other healthy habits, like eating well and moving your body, not just easier, but way more likely to stick. So I want to leave you with this final thought. For years, we've been taught to schedule our gym sessions and meal prep for the week. But what if we're missing the most important appointment? If you knew that nurturing your friendships was just as critical as lifting weights, what's the one social workout you would put in your calendar this week? Because the science suggests it might be the healthiest thing you do all year.
Here are some tips to help you have a healthy and strong body and mind. Remember that we upload videos every day.
Okay, let's talk about a word you've probably heard buzzing around a lot lately: biohacking. What is it really? Is it some far-off sci-fi concept, or is it something you can actually start doing, like, today? Well, we're gonna cut through the noise and show you how making a few small, smart changes can make a huge difference in your health. Let's dive in. So when I say biohacking, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Are you picturing cyborgs, high-tech labs? Or maybe, just maybe, your next healthy habit? The truth is, it's way more down to earth than it sounds. It's really about giving you the power to take control of your own biology. At its heart, this is all it is. So forget the crazy sci-fi stuff for a minute. Biohacking is simply about making small, strategic tweaks to your lifestyle. The whole point is to improve your health, your well-being, and just feel better, both physically and mentally. It's not about a radical, scary overhaul. It's more like a smart upgrade to the life you're already living. I just love this quote from Dr. Anam Abood because it hits the nail on the head. You know, it's so easy to get distracted by all the fancy gadgets and expensive supplements out there. But the real power, the real results, come from nailing the basics. Get those right, and everything else is just the cherry on top. It's also super important to understand that biohacking isn't just one single thing. It's actually a whole spectrum of practices. We can basically break it down into 4 main branches, and each one has a different goal and, you guessed it, a different level of risk. So So on one end, you've got lifestyle biohacking. This is stuff like improving your sleep or managing stress, all very low risk. Then you have nutrigenomics, which is all about tailoring your food to your unique genetics. After that comes technological biohacking, using wearables to track your data, which is also pretty low risk. And then, way over on the other end, you've got the extreme stuff, DIY bio or grinders, which involves things like implants. That's high risk. In this explainer, we're going to stick to the low-risk, high-impact stuff. So where do you even start with all this? Right here, with the basics. These are the simple and often totally free habits that give you the biggest bang for your buck when it comes to your health. This is the foundation you build everything else on. Just take a look at this list. Seriously, these are some of the most powerful biohacks out there. And guess what? Most of them don't cost a dime. We're talking about things like intermittent fasting, getting really good quality sleep, just drinking enough water, eating real food, and making sure you get some sunlight every day. They might seem almost too simple, but trust me, when you put them all together, the effect they have is absolutely profound. Let's zoom in on sleep for a second, because you could argue it's the ultimate biohack. Here are 4 super simple things you can do. 1, get some sunlight first thing in the morning. It helps set your body clock. 2, keep your bedroom cool. It signals to your body that it's time to sleep. 3, try not to eat for about 3 hours before bed. This lets your body focus on repair, not digestion. And 4, use blue light filters on your screens after the sun goes down. It helps your body produce the sleep hormone melatonin. Simple, right? Okay, so once you've got those foundational habits locked in, then you can start looking at leveling up. This is where we can bring in some specific tools, like certain supplements or even beneficial stressors, to really amplify the results you're already getting. Now, a key concept here is a word called hormesis. I know, it sounds a little technical, but the idea is actually super simple. Basically, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Think about it. Exercise is a short-term stress that makes your muscles grow back stronger. Well, things like cold plunges and saunas work the same way. They create a temporary stress that flips on these powerful repair and anti-aging switches in your cells. A really hot topic in the longevity world right now is a molecule called NAD+. You can think of it like the spark plug for your cells. It's critical for energy, but our levels drop as we get older. So there are 2 main ways people try to boost it. You can take oral precursors like NMN or NR, which are basically the building blocks your body uses to make its own NAD+, or you can use things like at-home injection pens that deliver NAD+ straight into your system, totally bypassing digestion for a more direct hit. And of course, NAD+ is just one piece of a much bigger puzzle. The world of supplements is getting way more targeted. For longevity, people are looking at compounds like fisetin, which helps clear out old, junky cells. For brain power, things like lion's mane mushroom are getting a lot of attention. And for metabolic health, compounds like berberine are being studied for how they can help manage blood sugar. All right, now let's peek into the future, because this is where things get really, really cool. Technology and biology are starting to merge in ways that give us insights into our own bodies that were once pure science fiction. This is opening the door to truly personalized health. Yeah, wearable tech has come a long way from just counting your steps. The new frontier is all about specialized monitoring. We're talking about devices that can track specific things, like your blood sugar or stress hormones, in real time. This gives you a constant stream of personal data so you can make smarter decisions about your health. And this isn't some far-off future. It's happening right now. At the recent Consumer Electronics Show, we saw some amazing gadgets. There was Peri, a tracker for hormonal changes during perimenopause, Allergen Alert, a little handheld sensor that can find hidden allergens in your food, and even something called a longevity mirror that can analyze your stress levels just by looking at your face. This is personalization on a whole other level. So what do you do with all this data? Well, that's where AI steps in. Check out this number. 0.63. That's how accurate an AI model was at predicting how a meal would affect someone's blood sugar. Now compare that to the old school method of just counting carbs, which scored a measly 0.14. That is a massive difference. It shows how AI can create personalized nutrition plans that actually work. Now, with all of this exciting new stuff, we have to talk about safety. This is so important. The #1 rule of biohacking should be the same as the #1 rule in medicine. First, do no harm. Your personal health and safety have to be the absolute top priority, always. And this right here is a perfect example of why that matters. Look, not every hack is for every single person. For instance, cold exposure might be a bad idea for someone with high blood pressure. And prolonged fasting? Definitely not recommended if you're pregnant. You have to know your own body and your own health situation before you start trying new things. So let's wrap this up with the golden rules for doing this safely. Number 1, and this is the most important, talk to a doctor before you make any major changes. 2, listen to your body. It's the best feedback you're ever gonna get. If something feels wrong, it probably is. 3, start small. Introduce one new thing at a time so you can actually tell what's working. And finally, with all this new tech, be smart about your data privacy. So what's the big takeaway from all of this? It's really about taking that first step. You don't have to do everything all at once. Just pick one thing. So my question to you is, what is the one small change you're gonna make first to start your own health journey?
If you found this video helpful, please subscribe and help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers so I can bring you better content. See you tomorrow with a new video.